Commanding General Yahanna will be doing the opening of the Feast of Tabernacles in King James Castle. Finally, the truth about King James, a black man who helped to preserve and safeguard the Bible. Live September 29th, 2023. Commanding General Yahanna live at King James Castle in Scotland. Come on down and support the I.S.U.P.K. UK. Lift the glass, come and join the brotherhood and drink with the ancient as we celebrate and keep the Feast of Tabernacles for our King Yahushua in King James Castle, bringing his crew of heavy hitters. Commanding General Yahanna will put 12 chill General Muhammad scripture breakdown class up against anyone, against any biblical scholar, untested, unchallenged, I.S.U.P.K, undefeated. Leviticus chapter 23, the Feast of Tabernacles in a black man's castle, hosted in Scotland, the United Kingdom, UK. Commanding General Yahanna will be doing the opening of the Feast of Tabernacles in King James Castle, Thursday, September 28th, Scripture Breakdown class. Friday, September 29th, there will be a King James Castle tour, also a Johnny Walker Distillery tour, and Friday night, the opening of the Feast of Tabernacles. Saturday, September 30th, we will have camp on the streets of England. Sunday, October 1st, the UK Cookout. Monday, October 2nd, the Warwickshire Castle Tour. I.S.U.P.K under Commanding General Yahanna at King James Castle in England. This is an absolutely monumental, historical event.
Want us to stop. But man, don't we deserve a shot? Don't we deserve a shot to be the Lord's people? Israel, let's do it!
Right, Elisha. Good. Come.
Scripture breakdown Wednesday night, DC. You know how we go. Also, to give Chicago, give them a fun. Chicago was tilted to one side with all that power. With all that power and might and authority, you know what I mean? Of course, big up Commander General who did a hell of a election. Fully open the eyes of everybody with this with World War III and the climate we in now. We in a climate right now where things are happening and a lot of people are absolutely, unaware of it. You mind if I bring these lights a little closer down here?
Sir.
Yeah, I think that's a little better. All right. A lot of people are unaware of the things that been going on with us. So, that lecture was extremely pertinent, on point, and timely. That's what I want. That lecture was really, really timely in terms of what was going on, what's been happening as they making moves and loking up, and this one going and activating this military and moving into different zones. You know what I mean? Even said, look for France quickly, soon in a short space of time to turn, on whoever they're rolling with and start supporting Russia. You know what I mean? Like look for the whole thing to just start to fall into play. And of course, your religious leaders, your world leaders, they're not going to have a clue really of what's really taking place, because it's biblical prophecy. And time and time again, they try to discredit the Bible. discredit these records. All right. So, of course, tonight, definitely gonna get into marriage and divorce. What is a marriage? What is a divorce according to God? How you should go about it? How you should go about, getting married, and why your marriage failed. You find out why your marriage failed. Even from some of these experts out here, you'll realize that they don't understand anything about life, right? They do understand money. They understand money, and they're driven by it. So that's one thing you want to be able to understand. All right. So we're gonna get into it. If there's any questions online, let me know.
Okay.
And if not, we're gonna definitely start right away. You know what I mean?
Nothing online, sir.
I think Chicago's down. Next we have first fruits. No, before that we have, I think, end of this month is New York. I think New York account is next. That's the end of this month. We have first fruits, Day of Atonement, and Feast of Tabernacles. Get ready for UK. UK, you're gonna be in problems for them days, man. For them days, it's gonna be a problem with a W. Forget the R. It's gonna be a problem because One West is coming to the UK. It's gonna be an absolute problem. Utter mayhem. Bring your mighty men, bring your scholars, because General is ready to just prove them wrong in front of you and see what you're gonna do. You know what I mean? See if you're gonna still continue to follow somebody who don't know what they're talking about, or come and get to the I.S.U.P.K and follow your God. You know what I mean? Your power, your authority, your mighty man. You get the point? You know what I mean? UK is going to be off the hook. Make sure you get down, check with your camp leaders. It ain't too late to get it. Of course, if you don't have a passport, it might be too late. But, still try. Still try. They definitely starting to move lines along with that passport. But if not, we're going to be going again. We're going to be going again very regular. But for sure, this September is going to be very, very rough. Good. It's going to be a rough one. In the I can't even say the Queen anymore. The Kings United Kingdom. Yeah, they call it the United Queendom at this point. You know what I mean? So that's it.
There's a question online.
Go ahead.
Yaquatazar says, Slagi, sir, can I get a breakdown on Ecclesiastes chapter 1, verse 9, Baba Kashal?
Ecclesiastes? Ecclesiasticus.
Ecclesiastes, sir.
Okay, no, sir.
There's Ecclesiastes chapter 1 and verse 9. Yeah, we already got instruction on what we need to do, sir.
Yeah, this guy ain't visible to me. It's a lot. Put that somewhere. Don't go so far away you forget the instructions that you got to do on it. But keep that in your back pocket. Whatever. Nothing behind me. Don't put that behind me at all. I don't know whose idea was that. That's some of you all again.
It's Ecclesiastes chapter 1 and verse 9. The thing that has been, it is that which shall be.
Right.
And that which is done is that which shall be done.
Okay.
And there is no new thing under the sun.
All right. Also, too, what's the number for the class? Probably number, right? This is what I want. I want, people who listening, if you're calling on the number and let me know an incident that happened between you and a friend, and say why that person is no longer your friend. All right. If you just do that, call throughout the class. All right. What's the number? 2. You probably don't want to put it scrolling because people tired at 7 something at night. They've been slaving all day. You're asking too much. Why don't just put it stationary up on the street? So I have some younger brothers in class. They don't care about the other half of the earth that's older. That we ain't there. After TikToks and all kind of shit. We focused in a whole lot. All right. So appreciate that. Right, just switch the banner on something now. This one of them banners you could put up.
I'm gonna type it in the chat as well.
That's right. Get the number on the screen so I can call it quickly, and then we can get on this brother question. All right. So all I just need is anybody just call in, and you don't have to call the name. Even if it's a family member, whatever. Just say something that happened, that made it so that you and this person can't get along anymore. The number is 202-989-1950. 202-989-1950. Also, this number you can call and ask your questions directly. You may be driving, you may be on a slave where you can't type in your question. You can just call and ask your question. Again, 202-989-1950. Any way to get up on the screen, Babash?
Counsel.
All right, it's taking a little too long. All right. 202-989-1950. 202-989-1950. You can call in, all right, throughout the class. Let me know if you're not getting through when you call in, just type a message in the chat so I can see it, and we'll get the brothers to fix the number with the technicalities of. All right, so where we going now?
It's Ecclesiastes chapter 1 and verse 9. The thing that hath been, it is that which shall be, and that which is done is that which shall be done, and there is no new thing under the sun.
Okay. The thing, read it again from the top.
He
wants a breakdown. He has a specific question.
It's just a breakdown of this verse.
Read it again from the top.
Ecclesiastes chapter 1 verse 1. The thing that hath been, it is that which shall be, and that which is done is that which shall be done.
Right.
And there is no new thing under the sun.
Okay, no sweat. This here is a reincarnation precept. The thing that has been is that which shall be. Is that correct?
Sir.
What's the first line?
The thing that hath been, it is that which shall be.
Right. So now we go in past tense and future tense. The thing that hath been, the thing that's been before, is that which shall be. Meaning there's something that was there before and it's going to be again in the future. It's going to be back again in the future. Something from before is going to be the future. Right? Go ahead.
And that which is done is that which shall be done.
And there were things that were done before, is that which will be done in the future again. Go ahead.
And there is no new thing under the sun.
And with that said, there is no new thing under the sun. There's nothing new under the sun. All right? That thing that has been is that thing that will be. And that thing that was done is that thing that shall be done. And there is no new thing under the sun. There's nothing new under the sun. This here is a reincarnation precept. We're going to go into, give me Ecclesiastes 6, I think 6 and 10.
Ecclesiastes 6 and 10.
Right, same book. It's going to skip through the chapters, all right? I believe it's Ecclesiastes 6 and 10.
This is Ecclesiastes chapter 6, verse 10. That which has been is named already.
Right, that which hath been is named already. That thing which hath been, and that thing that was done, which hath been, that shall be, and that thing that was done, which shall be done again, that thing has been named already. Go ahead.
And it is known that it is man.
And it is what?
Known that it is man.
And it is what?
Known that it is man.
That thing that was before and shall come again. That thing that was done before and shall be done again. This is man. Man has been here before and shall be here again. Man has done before and will be done again. Things that men have did before, men will come back in the earth and do those things again. This is a precept for reincarnation. Reincarnation is absolutely real. Keep reading.
Neither may he contend with him that is mightier than he.
Right, and you ain't gonna be able to, contend with the Lord at all. You're not gonna be able to, argue with the Lord about it. Right, the reincarnation is absolutely real. Christians, of course, don't believe in reincarnation. They believe in YOLO. You live once, one life to live, which is why they live the way they do. They live the way they do because they don't believe they come back to pay for anything. And they don't believe that you could now live your life in a way that when you come back, you're going to come back into the kingdom of heaven. Right? They're in the heaven right now with our oppressor, the white man. And they're enjoying his heaven. They don't believe in reincarnation. They just believe in living it up. Living it all the way up. All right? Give me go back to where it was first,
Ecclesiastes 1 and 9.
1 and 9. Give me 1 and what? 3.
Give
me 1 and 3. Get one.
It's Ecclesiastes chapter 1 and verse 3.
Mm-hmm.
What profit hath a man of all his labor which he taketh under the sun?
Mm-hmm.
Verse 4. One generation passeth.
And that's something you should ask yourself. After doing all this work, what profit has a man of all your labor that you do under the sun? Like what do you get? You understand? What do you get? Listen, even in playing games, you playing chess. The king and the pawn go in the same box at the end of the game. So what profit do you get? Whether you're a billionaire, you're an astronaut, you wipe people glass at the stop sign. At the end of it, everybody going into a box. So now, what is the profit for all a man's labor on the earth? What is it? And that's what Christians do not understand. Christians don't understand the cycle of life or the circle of life. They don't understand it. Go ahead.
Verse 4. One generation passeth away,
Mm-hmm.
and another generation cometh,
Mm-hmm.
but the earth abideth forever.
Right? One generation passes away, another generation comes. Just like the one we read in verse 8 or 9 before, where it said that thing that had been is that which is to come. And that thing that was done is that which shall be done. One generation passes away, is going to grow old and eventually die. That's what happens to everybody. And then another generation is come out, because babies are going to be born. Babies are going to come into the earth. Babies are going to be conceived from a man and a woman, and they're going to come into the earth. And that generation is what shall be, or that thing that is to come. Go ahead.
Verse 5. The sun also arises.
So, okay, but the earth abides forever. The earth does not go anywhere. The earth is never going to be destroyed. The earth is going to be here forever. This earth is not going to be destroyed. This planet is not going to be destroyed, and they try to make you believe in the goddamn movies. All right, go ahead.
Verse 5. The sun also ariseth,
Mm-hmm.
and the sun goeth down,
Right.
and hasteth to his place where he arose.
Right, just like in the morning, you see the sunrise, right? That's what we call it. Of course, today with all the science and the technology, you understand the whole premise where the sun doesn't rise, it's always there. It's the earth that turns and passes. But in the same premise, you seeing something coming up from a horizon, and this is the horizon. You're going to see the sun rising. You're going to see the sun rising at a certain time of the day. It's going to be here, because you have no bearing or you have no concept of how the earth itself, what you're on, turns on the axis or tilts. That doesn't affect you because you're way too small to feel the movement of this big thing. You understand? To feel the small movement of this big thing, it's just too much. You get the point? It's too much for you to even imagine or to even feel. If it was smaller in relation to you and you're on it, you could feel it turn. You would be able to feel that. You get the point? Even just being in a plane. You in a plane, if you're in a car, you sitting in a car and the car turns, you'll feel it. Even if it's a turn around a beltway or those loops that wrap around cities. You're gonna feel it. You're gonna feel that inertia pushing you to the outside or to the inside, whichever way you are. Right? If you're in a plane, a way vastly bigger object, moving through what you would call space or the air, and not on the roadway that is affected by that friction. When the plane turns, I'm not talking about a sharp turn. I'm just talking about a regular turn like you do in a car. Turn in a corner. You are not going to feel it because the thing is just too goddamn big. You're not going to feel it in relative to you. You're not going to feel that thing. But of course, how you see it, you're going to see the sun rising, and at one point it's going to reach high in the sky, and then it's going to start seeing it go back down and setting. You get it? But that's how your eyes are seeing it. Of course, we do understand that the sun doesn't really rise. That's what I was just explaining. But the premise of the reference here in scripture is that something is coming out of like a ground or pin. It's coming out. It's young. It's early in the morning. The day is still young. All these phrases is because it's a cycle. And now the sun is at high noon. The sun is at its strongest. And then it starts to dip. It's in its evening. It's evening out. It's in its twilight years. It's going down. And then what? The sun sets. And then it's darkness. Even when people die, they put it on the front of them programs. Sunrise, December something. Sunset, March something, so how much ever years later. Because it's the relation, it's the reference of life. Now he's saying, you see in this thing. Read verse again now.
Verse 5. The sun also ariseth, and the sun goeth down, and hasteth to his place where he arose.
Right, the sun rises and goes down and hasteth to his place where he arose. What does that mean? The place where he arose.
It means where he's coming from.
Okay, so what does it mean when he said why is he saying hasten to the place where he arose? You read verse again now.
Verse 5. The sun also ariseth, and the sun goeth down, and hasteth to his place where he arose.
Let's take it off. Let's take it off. All right, you can work that out after. All right. Go ahead.
What I'm saying is, Shalaka, can you repeat the question?
What does it mean? It hasted to its place where he arose. The last line. Bring the last line down.
It means he's going back where he originally came from, like where he was created.
Okay, so
sun,
okay, go ahead.
So you talking about the sun or like us in particular?
Just this verse here. Let's explain it.
I can explain it with sun, sir.
No sweat. Anybody else? So you go ahead.
It rose from where it come from, being starting again, the same way it was created or came up. The first day it came back to that original spot, so it starts over again. It regenerates.
That's the premise he wants. The premise he wants is he's showing you now. Is it a different sun tomorrow? Today's Wednesday. Is a brand new sun coming in the earth tomorrow, like a totally different one. The sun that's set tonight, is that sun dead and gone and will never ever come back? It's the same sun that comes around. The same sun that sets later on, or in some other places already set, done set on the other side of the earth. That's the same sun we see now. And then later on tonight, on their side, the same sun that's setting now is going to be visible to them later on tonight. And then in the morning, it's visible to us and go behind noon with them. It's the same sun. It's the same one. Keep going.
Verse 6. The wind goeth toward the south, and turneth about unto the north. It whirleth about continually, and the wind returneth again according to his circuits. Verse 7.
What does that mean?
It means it keeps on going. It just keeps on going. It may die down, but the same wind is going to build up again.
It's the wind also flows in a cycle. The wind also flows in a cycle, which is why you have you've heard of the Sahara dust. What is the Sahara dust?
I believe it's dust that peaks up from the Sahara Desert.
Where's the Sahara Desert? Where is the Sahara Desert?
Oh, in Africa, sir.
On the other side of the earth.
Counsel.
Right? And where does it go?
It goes all the way across the ocean, Atlantic Ocean, into like South America.
No, it goes to the Caribbean and also to the Americas too.
But the whole other side of the earth.
It goes west. And when it goes west, where does it go after that? Now, is the dust traveling or is it something else? The wind is what's picking the dust up. So it's really the wind that's traveling. So the wind goes west to the east coast of South America and the Caribbean and the Americas. And where does it go after?
Keeps on going west to the Asians.
So it goes west until it becomes east again.
Counsel.
Asia is east. It's a cycle. It keeps going until west becomes east. And then it comes back. You understand? Everything is a cycle. Everything, winds are a cycle. You have the winds that came from Canada that brought all the smoke down. Right? The Caribbean experiences something called northeast trade winds, right? Which means these winds blow from the northeast down to the southwest. And then they keep going like that, not around the island, but they're blowing down, and they keep going down to South America and coming around the whole top of that part of the Caribbean, top of the Caribbean down. The hurricanes follow a pattern. They start in the Atlantic Ocean, sometimes on the coast of Africa, and come to the Caribbean, and then go up, and then cycle back. You get the point? Go ahead.
The trade is that they can do with any type of trade route or something like that.
Okay, that part you could look up. I'll be guessing if I say why I call it trade winds, but it would make sense because that was the trade route because the winds blew that way. You get the point? It would make sense. But you'll have to look it up for sure. Keep going.
Verse 7. All the rivers run into the sea, yet the sea is not full. Unto the place from whence the rivers come, thither they return again.
Break it up.
It's saying everything. All the rivers run into the sea, but because the sea is not full, that means it's outlet, and it's.
So the sea has an outlet, it has a drain plug in the sea, has a drain.
Lie.
You see empty. It has a spiral goes down into the earth. Don't look at the confused at the answer ain't there. Come on, what does it mean? Anybody?
Same thing that even the rivers and seas have a cycle.
So break it down.
Can I hear version again?
All the rivers run into the sea, yet the sea is not full. Until the place from whence the rivers come, thither they return again.
Okay. Go ahead.
So it said the sea is not full, meaning it's constantly being filled up by the rivers. And then it says it goes back to the rivers again. So the rivers flow to the sea, the sea flows to the rivers.
How does the sea flow to the rivers?
Like this, like a cycle.
So how? So the wind blows the ocean water to a river.
The current.
Not quite.
Oh, like evaporation.
That's how it is. A river is not low. A river starts high. That's why it flows down. If it was low, the river wouldn't go anywhere. You understand? It starts high up, hilly area, mountainous area, and flows down into a delta. That's what it empties out into the sea, right? Every river finds its way down to some point where it touches the ocean, touches a beach. Every beach, somewhere along that coastline, has a river emptying out in some way. And there's many small rivers that flow into a big river. It's called a tributary. It contributes, and every time it crosses a line where you have rivers flowing in, downstream it gets bigger and bigger and bigger until it's so wide and has so much water, and it flows straight into the ocean. But the ocean never gets filled up, right? It never gets filled up. Why it never gets filled up?
Because the water evaporates.
That's true, but the answer for the topic would more so be it's not new water. You understand? It's not new water that's coming. If it was brand new water that's coming, by now it would be water world and everybody would have gills because the water would be on top of the Empire State Building. Rain keeps falling forever, for hundreds of years. And why doesn't the water level rise and cover the buildings and stuff like that? It doesn't. It's a cycle. Water goes into the ocean. It evaporates up into the sky. When the sky gets enough water, it's too full up there, then it rains. It rains, and as it rains and falls into the earth, some parts of the earth, they call it pervious parts of the earth, and impervious. Pervious means it could be penetrated. Impervious means it's solid like concrete. So the pervious parts is like your grasslands and your forested areas. They're going to absorb the water down into a water table underneath. Some water factories get their water from those type of places. And those are called fresh water, and they also come out into the rivers. When it falls onto the impervious parts, they run off into your drains and your roadways and your canals and empty out into some river somewhere or some basin and make its way down to the sea again, and then goes into a whole other cycle. It's called a water cycle. It's not new water, it's the same water, right? That's the cycle of life. That's how things are. Everything is like that. Everything goes through that stage. That's just how life is. For everything. For every single thing. Trees. You all see these huge trees, right? What happens at the end of summer with the trees? What happens?
They lose their the leaves start to get brown. They start to fall off.
They start going to the fall season or the autumn season, and the leaves fall off, and the leaves stay on the ground, right? Well, of course, everywhere you live, they're going to rake leaves up. What happens to the leaves as time goes on? The leaves that fall on the ground. What happens to them?
They decay, become part of the
Turn into what?
soil.
Okay. And then where does it go?
It's like nutrients for the for the tree again.
And then what happens?
And then it grows back into the
leaves come right back. It's the same leaf that fell. It's gonna come on back. The tree. The tree is dirt. Trees get big because of the dirt. It pulls up and turns into that bark.
Mm-hmm.
You leave that bark to rot, it's going to turn into what? Dirt. You understand? You bagging up, you have them old homes and stuff on the front lawn, you're bagging up all them leaves, and then your county going to take up your leaves and sell it to Home Depot, and then your dumb ass going to Home Depot in the spring to buy the same leaves you just rake up and got rid of. It's dirt for soil, for mulch. It's the same thing. It's a cycle. Everything is a cycle. There's no other system on the earth. Every single thing, it's a cycle. Right? Keep going.
Verse 8. All things are full of labor.
Say it again.
All things are full of labor.
All things are what?
Full of labor.
Full of what?
Labor.
Full of what?
Labor.
Everything is full of work. What kind of work? The cycle. Everything is full of that cycle, of that work. Every single thing. Go ahead.
Man cannot utter it.
And man don't understand. Man doesn't even understand what's really going on in the earth. Doesn't understand why things are the way it is. The cycle of life, men don't understand it. You understand? That's why Christians are the way they are. That's why we as a people live the way we live, because we don't understand the labor that's going in. We don't understand this life. We don't understand. Get it, boy? You don't understand it. You have a baby. That brand new baby is not brand new, right? That baby was here before, which is why as soon as the baby is able to stand up, they damn near run before they walk. They got new legs. They use them. It's like if you get a new car, you driving that new car all easy, and you like to blow sparks in about 3 months, because every time you hit the damn freeway, you want to see what this new car could do. A baby got new legs because just before the baby died, what was the baby's legs like? In the most in the ideal sense of life. When the ideal sense of life, just before you die, what's usually somebody's state? Ideally.
Stationary. Like they're
old. Use words people could understand.
Okay.
They're old, they're bedridden, you know, they got whatever going on with them, cancers, diabetes, or just age. They don't have the strength no more, and they're walking with a cane or walking with one of them the walkers with the tennis balls on the, or can't even walk. That baby comes back and is using them legs now. It's the same person coming back. The same person coming back as a baby. You understand? We don't understand life. Man can utter it, which is why abortion is an option. Abortion is an option because you don't think you're killing anybody. You don't think you're murdering anybody. You're murdering somebody who was here before and they're coming back in the earth again. So abortion is so evil and wicked. So evil and wicked because you're literally taking the life of a person who was here and they come back into the earth now. How they come back is the Lord's decision. Man cannot utter it. Life is full of labor. How they get here, that's the Lord's decision. You ain't supposed to go against it because this person was here before. You're doing something that you don't even know you're doing. You thinking that nobody will miss this person. How do you know that? This person have a role to play. They was playing the role before. They come back in again to either do it over or reap the benefits of the life they live. You decide you're going to kill somebody. Even somebody who was here before. You understand? This is another thing. Esau's court system, right? Somebody do a ton of murders, premeditated, so they're all first degree. The judge give them 3 consecutive life sentences. Why?
Say some evil bastards.
Or they understand something we don't. Their system probably, their judicial system probably understands something that we do not. How could you serve 3 consecutive life sentences when you, according to them, only have one life? How could you? Maybe they know that they want to imprison you when you come back. Maybe they understand that part. You understand? I'm not saying every single judge has it, but the system of it was set up obviously hard because how could you serve consecutive life sentences? Consecutive, not running concurrently. Consecutive life, meaning one after the other. How could you serve that if you only live once? Similarly, when they was recently bringing up, not recently, they do it all the time, when they bring up them ex-Nazi soldiers from Argentina, which is where all of them hiding up. Down in Argentina, all them Germans is down there, them Italians is down there taking over the damn country. When they find them all with an oxygen tank in a damn wheelchair, and they're bringing them back to the tribunal somewhere in The Hague or in Sweden or whatever war crimes court, they decide to bring them in front of. There was this famous quote from a rabbi, is it a rabbi or a judge, where he said, there was this one of these Nazi soldiers who was down there on his deathbed, ready to die. And I believe his family or his lawyer was asking for mercy because he was going to die. They were saying either they was asking to delay the case or mercy. But if they waited, it was a high possibility that this particular Nazi, because if you could look it up for me, I don't know if you could look it up, please. Okay. Right? This Nazi would have died. And this judge, the judge or the rabbi said, we need to get him in court now so we could sentence him. Because if we don't, he might die and he might escape justice. That's a very heavy statement. How could you escape justice if you die? You understand? He's going to die anyway, so why even sentence him? Because they understand something we don't. You understand? They understand something we don't. He has to get this before you go. He got to get this judgment before you go. Life is a whole cycle. It's always been that. All right? Give me verse 8. Shaphat, just pick up from where the brother left off.
Okay. Book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 1, verse 8. All things are full of labor. Man cannot utter it. The eye is not satisfied with seeing, nor the ear filled with hearing.
Right? They ain't going to understand what's really going on. And no matter what you tell people today, I will show them they're not satisfied with it. They don't believe it's that simple. That's what he's saying. The place is full of labor, man can't utter it. All things is full of labor. The eye won't be satisfied with what you show him, man. And his ears ain't gonna be satisfied. He always want more because this knowledge is just too simple. It can't be that simple. It can't be just that so simple as to why is it the way it is. You understand? Keep going.
Verse 9. The thing that hath been, it is that which shall be. And that which is done is that which shall be done.
Same thing. That's what we just read. 6 and 10 in the same book. The thing is man, and that thing is that man which hath been, he shall be again. And that man, everything he did before, he gonna do it again. It's a cycle of life. The spirit of prophets is subject to the prophets. And those who stood with Christ before, they're gonna stand with Christ again. You get the point? Those who was a traitor to Christ before, they're going to be a traitor to him now. That's just it. You understand? That's the cycle of life. That's how it goes. Keep going.
Okay. And there is no new thing under the sun. Verse 10. Is there anything whereof it may be said, see, this is new? It's already of old time, which was before us.
Right. There, there's nothing that you can say this is new. Like a new baby. This baby is new to you. This baby has new limbs, has a new body, but this baby's been here before. That person has been here before. That spirit has been here before. It's been there before. Keep going.
Verse 11. There is no remembrance of former things.
Say it again.
There is no remembrance of former things.
That's the key in reincarnation. There's no remembrance of former things. There's no remembrance or no recalling of your past life. So anybody who's saying there was, in touch in a past life is a nutcase. You understand? Anybody who's saying there was the prophet, Jeremiah in a past life, that person is an idiot. You get going? Come on.
Nobody ever says they were Judas.
Yeah, nobody wants to be Judas. Nobody wants to be Judas. And nobody said there was the damn something in Sodom and Gomorrah. Right? Who the hell is them? Surely they're back in the goddamn land. Surely they're there. But everybody want to be, it's about 10 Jeremiahs in the earth. It's about 5,500 King Davids in the earth. You understand? But nobody want to be, anybody else. You understand? No. Where's the nigga who went up and eat the pork with Maccabees? Where he at? He not here. All the pork them Christians eat, and he ain't come back. Right? But Matthias and Judas and that Judas Maccabees is talking about. They're the only ones that come back. But the Christian that went and eat the pork. Where the one who went in the tent with the Midianite woman? Where the hell he at? With all the interracial shit going on. He ain't come back. None of y'all want to identify. Y'all don't want to, identify as this one and that one. Identify these wicked niggas too. You might learn something about yourself. Go ahead.
Let me tell it. Mashiach, Yahanna, you cross the line radio every Thursday.
Oh, so somebody say he's Christ?
Counsel.
Yeah, Counsel, yeah.
It's rough. It's rough out here. These drugs and stuff that's going on. It's rough.
I got the article you saw.
Go ahead. You could if there's a picture from it, you might want to show the picture. I could definitely read it.
Yeah, it's a picture of Counsel.
Go ahead.
It's like I'm gonna. You want me to select it?
You have to supply the reading. The picture is that down for the show.
Lots. So I got it right now. Okay.
I should probably keep it on.
Neither some more things. Neither shall there be any remembrance of things that are to come with those that shall come after.
What's that?
Just a second.
Talk about the remembrance of former things. What's the second part from neither?
Oh, it's not. You can't see in the future either. You won't be able to see the next person you will be.
It's saying the same thing as the first one.
Counsel.
It's saying those who are going to be born, meaning you're not going to remember your former life now, and your children who come down later. You understand? The remembrance from that him that is the future, who's to come after. Nobody has remembrance of the life before, which is this puts an end to the whole thing of deja vu. The deja vu before, right? People think, oh, I lived this before. Some. Deja vu is not real, right? It's right here in the Bible. What happens with deja vu is you don't understand how your brain works. Your brain, is almost like a computer. Stuff might be deleted from in front of you, but it's in the machine somewhere. You understand? If anybody knows computers, everything is in the machine somewhere. That's why somebody comes around and the feds come, they take the machine. You think you delete everything. They'll find it. It's somewhere on that brain. Your brain works similar to that, where you don't remember it consciously, but it's there subconsciously. So you may smell something and you get that feeling of, I smelled this before. Or not like smell, you associate what you're seeing with a memory from before, because this smell you loved or something you taste from that you love from before, way before, and it triggers that type of euphoria that comes with memory. But deja vu to say you just see something and say, oh, and I lived this before, something like that is not real. Those are things that those are stuff that happens in your brain, much like sleep paralysis. You know, sleep paralysis, where the Christians say, I can move and say blood of Jesus 3 times and the demon got off my chest. Right? Christians down in bed and they open their eyes, but you can't move. And you feel like you can't move. Jesus, that's a lie. That shit bullshit again. Not saying that doesn't happen. Those things happen. That sleep paralysis is caused usually when you're extremely tired. When you're extremely tired, what happens is when you go to sleep, your brain releases a chemical that paralyzes your body, so you don't do certain voluntary actions. Why you don't get up and sleepwalk, right? You could injure yourself because everything is off. So your brain releases something to paralyze your body. Sometimes when you're extremely tired, your brain could wake up, your body hasn't. So you're there, your eyes, you open, you see it, but your body's not moving. You start, because of Christianity, start thinking some demon is sitting on your chest trying to have sex with you. Your nasty eyes. Because Jesus could save you from this spiritual rape you're about to get. It's not that. You just super tired. That's it. You ain't no need to sit down there and panic and think, it's you Damien O'Man or Freddy Krueger or some shit holding you down. This is just what happens in your body, from your brain. Your brain is something, once again, man can't utter. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. It was mostly sisters saying, man, he had a witch on his back. Well, I had a witch on my back last night. That's what they said.
You might be a witch, but you ain't got nothing on your back or your chest or nothing. You just don't understand life. That's why you don't understand this reincarnation. Yeah, that's good. So this is the devil here, right? He's an ex-Nazi.
Sir.
Right? He was an ex-Nazi, and they're bringing him to justice. Go ahead.
Munich, Germany. John Damjanjuk was wheeled into a packed Munich court on Monday to face charges he helped kill 27,900 Jews during the Holocaust and what is likely to be Germany's last major Nazi-era war crimes trial.
But Joe Biden says we predators, we criminals, and they make a crime bill for us.
Mm-hmm.
This devil killed 27,000 people. He helped him. He accomplice. For all the oppressors who think, want to play semantics. But he killed him. He helped kill him. All right, he helped. He assisted. He had 27,000 assists.
Right.
You should never ever feel like you think that's wrong with the world or wrong with America or wrong with anything. Well, this nigga, he make it to 90-something now. 90-something. Lee Malvo. What's the little boy name who was Lee Malvo? I forget his name. You don't know what I'm talking about, right? So DC Sniper. DC Sniper is Lee Malvo, right? But that's the boy name. That's the boy. Finally, mix up the two names.
Is John Muhammad is the older one.
Is the old, right. Lee Malvo was what? 12, 13 or something like that?
17.
17, shit. Whatever. He was 17 at the time.
Counsel.
That's still a boy. I don't care what nobody says. That's still a boy. He's not a man yet. They wouldn't let him go. For what? 4 people? 4 people, right? I think it's 4 or 5 that they actually killed.
The counsel.
Right? They don't want to give him no parole. He applied for the shit. He said, listen, man, he was a minor. He got some time. They don't want to let him go. This dude was free until he's 90-something years old. You should never feel like you are what's wrong with this place. Never. Understand why I'm the devil. And, he needs to be put in jail. Not you. 27,000 now. He ain't get tired. That's a lot of work.
Mm-hmm.
It's not. He stopped probably still would make the Hall of Fame. Wait a minute,
he low in the ranking. He low in the ranking. He on the bench in the playoffs. He on the bench. We ain't talking about Napoleon. What's the other one, boy? Go ahead. Stalin. That's the one who I always forget. Stalin. We talking about them niggas, yeah. Mussolini. Shit. Mm-hmm. We ain't talking about them yet. Go ahead.
Khan. Lying on a mobile hospital bed, the expressionless 89-year-old former U.S. car worker complained of pain to medics in the afternoon session and was given an injection.
Slow it down. Really?
Khan. Lying on a mobile hospital bed, the expressionless 89-year-old former U.S. car worker complained of pain to medics in the afternoon session and was given an injection. And
now the afternoon session is court. So they brought him to court in the bed because, of course, they're trying to appeal to the sympathy of the court. That look at this thing. You gotta wheel him in here on the bed. He in pain. They're trying to appeal to mercy. Meanwhile, he killed 27,000 people and was able to come to America and get a job in a car factory.
Khan.
So you are a felon and you can't work in McDonald's. You are not what's wrong with this place, brother or sister. You're not the problem. Just make sure you understand that. You're not the problem. If anything, you probably need to go kill some more so you can get the benefits he did. It's either that you ain't killing enough. You understand? 27,000 people and he got a job now. I'm sure he was some big shot in some car factory somewhere. Go ahead.
Khan, causing a 30-minute delay in the proceedings. Mm-hmm. German state prosecutors accused Demjanjuk, who was top of the Simon Wiesenthal's Center's list of most wanted war criminals, of assisting in killings in the Sabador death camp in Poland, where prosecutors say at least 250,000 Jews were killed. Demjanjuk.
He on the top of the list. He's like, they want him. They want to die. Go ahead. So he ain't just help.
Mm-hmm.
He probably was doing a lot himself. Go ahead.
Khan. Demjanjuk denies he was involved in the Holocaust, and his family insists he is too frail to stand trial. Mm-hmm. But camp victims want justice. Mm-hmm. Justice takes a long time. I am not seeking revenge for Demjanjuk. I'm not seeking revenge for Demjanjuk. He should tell the truth, said the co-plaintiff Thomas Blatt, whose family was killed in a camp in 1943
And you know where they say he's going to escape justice. That's the part I really want. You found it? Is it in this article?
Salakia.
That's the part I want. Where they say they have to charge him when he died because they don't want him to escape justice. So he had to take his charge. You can't find it. It's probably in there. It's another one. I can't name the devil. But I remember the statement was made that he can't escape justice, which is something we don't understand yet as people. This oppressor does, though. He definitely does, but we don't. All right. If you cannot find it, that's all right. That's all right. So you can drop it. But reincarnation, to answer the brother question, those are precepts for reincarnation. You can also go to 1 Corinthians 15. Also, 1 Corinthians 15 from like about 30 or something on down is really good. Give me first few verses there. Give me 1 Corinthians 15 and 12. Start at 12. Give me 12 and 13.
Come.
And then skip down to 35.
Come, sir. Book of 1 Corinthians chapter 15, verse 12.
Mm-hmm.
Now if Christ be preached that he rose from the dead,
mm-hmm.
how say some among you that there is no resurrection of the dead?
Any Christian who ever questions reincarnation, that's a precept. Read it one more time.
Come, sir. Book of 1 Corinthians chapter 15, verse 12.
Mm-hmm.
Now if Christ be preached that he rose from the dead,
mm-hmm.
how say among you that there is no resurrection of the dead?
Right. If Christ is preached, if we teach that Christ rose from the dead, he was crucified and rose 3 days later, how could you now say you don't believe in reincarnation when somebody came back from the dead? You understand? Life was taken and life was given. How could you preach that? Christians don't believe in Christ. That's what you'll find. They don't believe in Christ. Keep reading on.
Come, sir. Verse 13. But if there be no resurrection of the dead,
mm-hmm.
then is Christ not risen?
Do you see a question mark there?
Slide.
So read it as you see it, please.
Come, sir. Verse 13. But if there is no resurrection of the dead, then Christ is not risen.
If there is no reincarnation, then Christ is dead. And he ain't coming back. Christ is not risen. If there's no reincarnation, then what you pretending to keep the law for? Because that's what Christians really do. Why call yourself a Christian? He's dead. He's gone. He's part of history. He's in the dirt. If there's no reincarnation is absolutely real. Keep going.
Okay. Verse 14. And if Christ be not risen,
mm-hmm.
then is our preaching vain. Then is our preaching vain, and your faith is also vain.
That's it. That's for your Christians. You're questioning reincarnation. If you don't believe in reincarnation, then Christ got to be dead. And if Christ is dead, all your preachers are preaching in vain. They're preaching for nothing. And really, they're preaching for nothing right now because they don't even believe in Christ. You don't have to be dead. Reincarnation don't have to not exist. They don't believe in him anyway, which is why they do what they do. They're preaching this for money. It's absolute money and vanity, which is why they change their doctrine every 3-4 years. Even the Vatican now is talking about, the homosexuals is fine and it's a part of life and God loves everybody and blah, blah, blah. Because they don't believe in none of that shit they're talking anyway. All right. Give me verse 25.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Look at 1 Corinthians chapter 15, verse 35.
Go ahead.
But some man will say,
uh-huh.
How are the dead raised up?
Mm-hmm.
And with what body do they come?
What Christians always say. Well, if reincarnation is real, where they get anybody from? How they coming back? They coming back out of the earth? They said this to Paul. What was done before will be done again. Man who was here before, the same people who questioned the men of the Lord before, it's the same people who question him. It's the same thing. Right? Keep going.
Come. Verse 36. Thou fool.
Say it again.
Thou fool.
Say it again.
Thou fool.
Well, Christians,
Thou fool.
What are your preachers?
Thou fool.
What are your Muslims? Your Islam?
Thou fool.
What is your Rastafarianism?
Thou fool.
All your religions are fools. Absolute fools. They don't know what they're talking about. Go ahead.
Come. That which thou sowest is not quickened, except it die.
What does that mean? Go ahead.
What you basically saying, you fool. What you try to
Ilenta Sawaba? No sweat. Go ahead.
Saying what you sow is, you know what I'm saying, it's like what you trying to put down, what you trying to plant, like a farm for, you know, it doesn't come alive. You know what I'm saying? It dies.
No. Anybody else?
Without sow, so you know, the soul is planting, and then we gotta see what the word quicken means, and it's simply die meaning. But I would think take a shot at it and say, like, if you plant something, it won't multiply unless it dies. Spread seed.
That's it. What's quicken mean?
No, sir. Alive.
You ain't saying it right.
Bring life.
To make alive or to give life. You understand? To make alive is to quicken something, right? To make it to, like how you ever hear to make haste, right? Or look alive. Look alive is like, you know, to put life into something. To quicken something is to make life, to make alive, to make alive or to give life to. So as you're saying, Nakamaya, if you plant something, nothing grows unless that thing you plant dies. You understand? That thing you plant has to die first, and then something can grow from it. But that thing that's growing from it is not something brand new. It's that same thing that died.
Right.
That's life. Man don't understand it. The eyes want more, the ears want more. It can't be that damn simple. Right? Keep going.
Okay.
Read it again.
Okay. Verse 36. Thou fool, that which thou sowest is not quickened, except it die. Verse 37. And that which thou sowest not that body. Not that body.
Slow it down.
Okay. Verse 37. And that which thou sowest not that body that shall be, but bear grain. It may chance of wheat or of some other grain.
Right? So what you put in the ground, that seed you put in the ground, you're not sowing that physical thing. You're sowing that thing so it dies. So whatever has to come out is going to come out. And for those who wondering where the body coming from, that's why the body goes back into the ground. It's our custom, not ashes, that's nothing bad. But, you know, from the earth you come, from the earth you return. We put our dead into the earth because that's where you come from. You come from, your body is dust. Your spirit goes to the Lord, he renews the spirit right back through some family member. You come back into the earth. Reincarnation is absolutely real. Christians will never understand. Even though they farm, even though they plant, even though they understand the water cycle with rain and the rivers, they could break all that down. But you tell them, man was here before. No. No, you crazy. You lying, this, that, blah, blah, blah. If that's the case, how many people ever live? What's the number? How big is heaven if that's the case? That's what I want to know. Where is that spot? That's what has to be huge.
God.
Like, where is it with everybody who's dead and all this? Rest in peace. I know you're looking down on me. For the last, 2,000 years alone. We in 2023 AD. There's, going back 6, 7, 8,000 years on the other side of the zero line. Where all them people at? If nobody comes back. Go ahead.
Stop it. Get crazy with it. You got all the stars and stuff to be the heavens, but what about heavens? A lot of people.
Oh, shit. So I have to bring some back to Earth. But now we're talking about heaven. We're talking about heaven. Hell got to reach up to the surface by now. They got not to be building condos, right? As soon as they open the manhole to check the sewer, fine. Because there's so much people stacking up. Reincarnation is real. Reincarnation is real. None of that, don't believe none of that nonsense. It's absolutely real. I hope that answers your brother question. All right. Anything else,
Wakan? There's a Nazam Anna says, Salaki, sir, can you explain the protocol if you seek counsel but you are constantly denied? Can you seek counsel for oneself to maintain?
What is seeking counsel for oneself? I mean, I guess that's what she asked. Was this a man or a woman? I'm assuming it's a woman.
I don't know.
Nazam from where?
She doesn't say, sir.
I'm assuming, I ain't too sure if it's a brother or a sister. Nazam, okay. Just let me know if it's a brother or a sister, all right? Nazam, if it's still on. Is this from where we cut, or is it still in our stream now?
It's
be able to see it. It should tell you there. Should be able to tell you on the side where it's coming. Is it a YouTube or
it's a YouTube? It's a YouTube, sir.
Okay. Yeah, I can't say for sure. Okay, Nazam Anna, she says a sister. I think that's come up, right? Okay. So, okay, this is what I would say. All right. I would imagine you have a camp leader, right, Nazam? First off, Nazam, are you a sister in the UPK? Nazam Anna, that name is song. I ain't a Hebrew expert. What the hell does Anna mean? I ain't a Hebrew expert. Let me don't say that. I ain't even going on that. All right. Nazam Anna, just please put if you're a sister in the UPK. I need to know for sure. If you got your name from the UPK at some point. No problem. You got your sister in the UPK. You want to contact your camp leader, right? You go to your camp leader, and this is personal counsel or trespass counsel. I know what you would contact the camp leader. All right, but if it's personal counsel, you're having some problems, you need to know what to do. You contact your camp leader. Give me the times in the Apocrypha. All right, give me the times in the Apocrypha. Give me also safety in the multitude of counsel. In Proverbs 11 and 14. Give me Proverbs 11 and 14. And where's the one the Apocrypha? Anybody have it? Please. I'll take Proverbs first.
Book of Proverbs, chapter 11, verse 14. Okay. Where no counsel is, the people fall. Come. Where no counsel is, the people fall.
Right. Where no counsel is, the people fall, which is what happens in the fake Israelite groups like your IUIC, your GMS, your all white ones, the GOCC, all that. Right. People fall because there's no counsel, there's no wisdom in there. Go ahead.
Come. But in the multitude of counselors, there is safety.
Right. In the multitude of counsel, there's safety. That's one thing you gotta understand. Getting some knowledge from somebody who's wiser than you, and usually somebody who's wiser than you has more experience on the bad side of things than you do. So you could learn from their mistakes. You could learn from their hard knocks instead of learning yourself. Instead of learning these hard lessons yourself, you could call and get counsel from somebody who 9 out of 10 times done did the same thing you trying to do, and could tell you, hold up, chill with that, don't do this. Go check that out again, XYZ. Or they may know you because they raised you up. They helped raise you up, which is why your camp leader is so important, and you should establish that relationship with your camp leader. They know you and they know how your mind works. They know your patterns. They know your weaknesses. They know your strengths. They know the things where you would entertain a thought, but be lost in actually being present and thinking. You would get emotional about the thing. They know you. So you might want to talk to them more because you may not understand it. But usually that person who raises you knows you better than you know yourself. Because you know yourself, you're going to be giving yourself all sorts of excuses as to why you do what you do. when that person could already know this is what you do, because anytime ABC happens, you do XYZ. And they already know you. You get the point, they already understand. Give me B time.
So what scripture was that?
Proverbs 11 and 14.
But time, Ecclesiasticus chapter 6 and verse 36.
Right, this is in the Apocrypha.
And if thou seest a man of understanding, get thee betimes unto him, and let thy foot wear the steps of his door.
Right. If you see a man of understanding, get betimes. What's it? Get what?
Get thee betimes unto him.
Get thee betimes unto him, meaning many times. That's what betimes mean. Get thee many times unto him, and let the soles of your feet wear out his doorstep, meaning you're always knocking on his door. Salaki, so you have a second. Salaki, so you have a second. Salaki, so you have a second. It's like that. Them old school phones, before you had these plasma screen, disappearing screen shit. Them bricks, you remember them Nokia bricks?
Concept.
Indestructible.
Concept.
You know somebody using the hell out of this shit when you can't see the numbers or the letters. you know which numbers they dial a whole lot, because damn, you can't see nothing on there. Just imagine doing that. That's it. It's like you're wearing out. You call it so much, you use it so much, you're wearing out their doorstep. That's the first thing to understand. You're gonna get with your camp leader a whole lot, whoever you report to, you get counsel from them. Now that's if it's personal counsel on a matter, right? You get to them. Now the trespass counsel, of course, you have steps before that. Before you even go to bring a trespass counsel, if thy brother offend thee or sister, parentheses, go to him and him alone, or her and her alone, and tell them their fault. Matthew 18 and 15. You don't have to get Matthew 18 and 15. If they hear thee, thou hast gained thy brother or thy sister. Meaning what? To hear thee would mean to acknowledge the fault and say salaki. Anything other than that, you gotta take them to counsel. Don't go back and forth. But I did this and you didn't do that. That's why I did none of that. Anything other than, yeah, damn, you right, salaki, brother. Listen, or salaki says that day. Listen, my mind was totally off. I apologize. I really was out of line for that. I shouldn't have done this. I shouldn't have said this. I should have did that. Oh man, I apologize. I should have said shalom. I just walked past. I wasn't even thinking. Salakia. Anything other than that, you have to, now proceed with a trespass counsel. In both cases, you'll call your camp leader. We call your camp leader. Did you go to XYZ? Come. And what happened? The person didn't say Salakia. They said XYZ and gave me excuses and no problem. And then your camp leader would proceed to tell you how the next steps in this trespass counsel. If it's personal counsel, you just call your camp leader up anytime. Every day, as you come in truth, you're gonna have a day to check in. As you stay into the school, you go on. Brothers know you check in every week. You don't have to wait on your check-in day to call for counsel. You could call anytime. You have that number. You're going through something. You need some help. You need some clarity. You need somebody to steady your spirit, because this you frustrated to the point of you might do something silly. You get the point. You call your camp leader. Now, read over her question again.
Sir. Sluggy, sir, can you explain the protocol if you seek counsel, but you are constantly denied? Can you seek counsel for oneself to maintain?
Right. It sounds like this is personal counsel you're asking about. It sounds like that is personal counsel. Let me know if I'm right or wrong. Just type it in. Is it trespass counsel or is it a personal counsel? It sounds to me like it's personal counsel. Either way, you should go to your camp leader and, ask for counsel. Ask for counsel on a situation. Now, this is what I would say. This is just from my little time in the school. This is from the little experience I have in the school. Usually, and I'm not saying Nazam, what's his Nazam or Nazar? Nazam. I'm not saying this Nazam person here is lying, but usually this person is not giving the entire scenario, and there's a reason why you getting pushed back. maybe you was given counsel before and did not follow it. And then you turned around and blamed the camp leader for shit going left when you didn't listen. It's possible. So now it's just like, yo, I ain't giving you no counsel no more. You don't do shit I say anyway. Why the hell they coming to me for? Go counsel yourself. Maybe. I don't know. But that would be a normal procedure whether you're going for personal counsel or because you have to strategy. You just pay attention. So when I ask, you have to look too much.
Okay.
If it's not working, it's not working. I need to focus on the common thing, so I don't have to look.
Okay.
All right. If it's whether it's a trespass counsel or we call that thing personal counsel, you just go to your camp leader. Now, if there's a reason your camp leader is telling you for whatever reason, you that's when you would read. You want to find out why. You want to find out what's the reason. You can't get counsel. From my experience, you probably got counsel 5 times before until you're back on it all. And wound up in more trouble and more problems and expecting help again. And now you're coming again. And it's like, why? Why would I say something to you when you don't listen? You prefer to learn the hard way. And sometimes that's also good. It's also good to, get the bumps and the bruises. It's also good to do it. So I can't say why you're being denied, if that's even true. But I would say go to your camp leader. If you should go to your camp leader, who's your camp leader? Right? If you could just have to say who's your camp leader or what city you're in, you should go to your camp leader. All right? Anything?
Counsel, she says, never had counsel, always asked my head. So I'm just seeing for myself at this point, not being wicked or evil as he speak.
Okay, I don't know what you heard that mean. Say it again.
Never had counsel, always asked my head. So I'm just seeing for myself at this point, not being wicked or evil as he speak.
So you okay? When she say her head, I'm assuming she means she's married. So she's married to her brother in the school. Are you married to a brother in the school, sis? Or Nazam? So y'all forgive me. It's hard to tell this damn internet. I suspect every profile is AI. Every single one.
She says, "Counsel."
Okay, you married to a brother in the school. You should talk to your husband about the situation. You should talk to your husband about your situation and let him know what you're dealing with, and he could advise you. Or he could seek the counsel on behalf of you. There's different ways for it. There's different ways to go. Now, okay, this could now segue me right into the topic. Now, if you're going to your husband about the situation and he is rejecting you on it, it could be one of two things, right? Not one of two, one of a few things. I'm gonna list some of those few things. It could very well much be that you're, again, go ahead. What's that? Why? There's this one here too, and if you want. You want this one?
I just want to fill it up back.
I might need it here too. No, forget this for now. Unless you need it. No?
I think he.
If you want to, you can just use from these. No, you can do that. Oh, you can do it now. Ain't no sweat. Go ahead, do your thing. All right. What you might find is in the same scenario. You went to your husband a few times about situations, and he told you to go left, and you said why? And he said because I think you should go left. And you said that's not making sense, and you went right, and then you start calling your husband for help from the right side. And maybe you do it again because husbands usually love their wives to death. And you did it so much, you don't see no sense in talking to you because you're hard of hearing. So he's just like, whatever. Do what the hell you want to do. That's that. I'm not, I'm not wasting time. I'm not listening to your problems because it's like talking to a wall. I'm telling you what to do. You turn around, you question me, and then you go get jammed up. And now, because I'm your husband, I have to bail you out. I have to, no, this is now an extra problem. So that could be one of the reasons why. I'm speculating, of course. Another reason why is because you seek counsel already. You didn't receive it well, or you rejected it, maybe not a whole lot of times, right? it's possible that you are not as feminine as you can be with your husband, right? I'm assuming, again, you're talking about getting counsel because you've been denied by him. It's possible you are not feminine with your husband. You want to wear the pants in the relationship. You want to, you want to be an IUIC wife, another I.S.U.P.K red, which is there's a huge difference. You get the point? You might want to dictate more than, obey. And your husband is just not having it. Another reason you could be rejected for counsel is you may not be paying tithes. You may be somebody who's sitting in class, benefiting from the wisdom of class, but you ain't dropping a dime, not one red cent into this school, but yet still you want the school's time. So now, just like you go down to the welfare place or what's called social services, right? You go down to social services. What do you first have to present to social service or a social service office? Anybody who's experienced it before, what do you first have to prove or present?
Like proof of residency.
Why you need proof of residency?
Because if you don't live there, they ain't gonna give it to you.
Why, if you don't live there, they ain't gonna give it to you? Hold on. You sweat? You want to pass?
Yeah.
You sweat? Hold
Counsel, is it because if you live there, you pay taxes there?
on. Because that money you're about to get is tax money. Money that came from taxes when you slave, or if you still slave, and some people still have slavery and still have to get help because this place is such oppression. Or you getting tax money from what everybody else pays in that particular state. And now if you don't even, live there, or you in this case, you're not even paying tithes. What the hell are we getting on the phones to have a trespass counsel or somebody be delegated to listen to your problems for? You get the point? Obviously, you don't love this service enough, or else where you lay your treasure, there also your heart lies. You don't love this enough, so, and maybe that's the case. It's possible. Now, I don't know. You don't have to put all your business into this chat. You shouldn't. You should be a little bit more discreet with it. Keep it general. I would go to my husband. If I were you, I would go to my husband again and be extremely feminine and find out what's the reason why. And he, more than likely, he probably told you already. If you say he's a UPK officer, right? Your brother in the school, I guarantee you, we have one spirit that he done told you already. You just not trying to hear it. And I understand that. That's fine. But you might want to find a way to make him hear you. You couldn't make him hear you. Every woman has the power to make her husband hear her. Every woman has tremendous power to make her husband hear her all the time. All the time. You don't have to rule over him. You don't have to challenge his authority. You could just become something that he just knows he's going to kill for and die for. You could get your husband's ear anytime. Anytime. He could be battling a damn pit bull with one hand and holding on the steering wheel with the other hand. He'll answer that phone with his nose and say, "What's going on with you? You all right? You have a problem? You have a few minutes? Yeah, a little busy now, but it's okay. Drive it." And he listens to your dumbass problems and help you out. You get the point? But I don't know you. I don't know your husband. I don't know who you are. I hope you're in the UPK and this is not AI I'm talking to. I'll be even more angry. You're talking to the intelligence here. Go ahead. Anything else?
She says, "Kind on con for water, sir."
Okay, that's simple. Good.
And also, so like if there's a call.
Okay, go ahead. Right. So now we'll have that segue into the topic tonight. All right. Go ahead.
Yeah. Gotta mute myself. All right, call it 718-576. You're online.
Go ahead, please.
Hello?
Go ahead. Tell us to mute whatever you're listening to in the background.
Mute whatever you're listening to on the background and just talk on the phone.
I'm gonna mute it. Hold on. I muted it. Can you hear me now, brother? Hello?
I can hear you fine. So Shalom, go ahead. You have a question or comment?
Yes, Shalom, teacher. I would like you to just respond a little bit, if you could expand a little bit more on not so much the resurrection, but as you was talking about death and resurrection of coming back to life again. Can you just expand a little bit more on it for me, please?
Okay, let me ask you this: were you in class from the beginning, or you caught it a little bit late?
Yeah, I missed a little bit because I was taking care of some of my classwork.
No sweat.
So I missed a little bit, but I'm very interested.
No sweat.
In reincarnation.
Let me ask you this: did you have a specific thing that you were lost on?
Yeah, I was kind of specific thing that I was kind of lost on is that I know that you said in the scriptures that our thoughts we die, our thoughts perish. That I know that when we come back, I can't draw the connection on why. Like if you go through certain things in life and you feel like you've done it a million times before. And also, you feel also that certain things that you're not doing that you should be doing, that is completely useless, but it's like a passing your mind that, that there's like a puzzle still, and you feel like it needs to get done, but you really can't explain it all.
Okay. This is what I would say. What city are you in?
I'm in Brooklyn, New York.
New York. Okay, no sweat. This is what I would say, all right? Because we covered the reincarnation from like 7 p.m. So it sounded like you came in a little ways in. So you could definitely rewatch the beginning of the class, right? And then see if you still have questions. However, what I would say is, because I did cover that part with the you feeling like you've been here before, the deja vu. And that's something that's going on with your mind. Right, I definitely did cover that part before, but no, this is what I would tell you, especially as a woman. Your feelings are deceitful. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
Like as you were speaking, you said you feel this and you feel that. Your feelings are absolutely deceitful. Your feelings have no basis. And by your feelings, I'm talking about in terms of the suspicions or the emotional state that you can get into. We all have feelings. We all have emotions. Women are usually more prone to emotional triggers and emotional experiences than men. Your feelings, you want to not feed into them. You understand? You could acknowledge how you feel. You could ask for counsel on why you feel how you feel and break it down to somebody what you're going through and what you think. But what you want to rely on is more so instruction and what the Bible says. That's going to steady your thoughts. You understand? All right. The Bible said there's no remembrance of former things. If you feel like you've been here before, then it's one of two things. Either the Bible is lying or you don't believe the Bible. You understand? Like what you feel, it really has no bearing in the real world. It's what is there, what the Lord said. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
All right, give me the scripture.
Book of Jeremiah, chapter 17, verse 9.
Mm-hmm.
The heart is deceitful above all things.
Right. The Bible says the heart is deceitful above all things. The heart is your mind. In the Bible, it's your brain, what you think. When people say, I know something by heart, it's not talking about this in your chest. It's talking about you have it committed to your memory, which is in your brain, in your heart of hearts. Those feelings are deceitful above all things. You don't want to rely on your feelings, especially as a woman. You want to rely on the Bible and what it says and instruction. You understand? All right. So what you want to do, since probably rewatch the class, I definitely went over it before. When you get time, of course, and make sure. Do you go down to the school in New York?
I've been to the school in New York, but I haven't been here in a minute because they've moved, and the new location I really don't know. And sometimes when I go out to camp, sometimes they're not there. I believe they could normally they're on Lennox Avenue on 125th Street in Manhattan. But sometimes when I go there, they're not there, so I don't always go. And I know that there's a new location. I heard that there's a new location, but I don't know the new location.
No sweat, no sweat. They're usually on Lennox Ave, or sometimes in Yonkers or Brooklyn. Brooklyn. They have another camp location in Brooklyn as well. So maybe the days you go there, they're not there. All right, I believe they go to Times Square at certain times too. The location of the school in New York, headquarters in Harlem, and it's been in Harlem for probably, I want to say about 6 or 7 years easily. It could be about 6 or 7 years easily, possibly even 8. All right, so it's I don't know of any as you say new school. But if you want the address, I can give you the address of the school. You guys type in I.S.U.P.K Harlem, I.S.U.P.K headquarters in New York, and you'll see the address. I'll say it out right now anyway. Okay. Hold on.
Because sometimes when we try going by there, like I said, to the camp on Leonard, myself and my other sisters, we went by there once or twice, and no one was out there.
No, there probably was at another location. That New York camp goes up very regular. I definitely vouch for that. So they probably was at another location, or the time you went, they probably came out after or before, something like that. What's the address for the New York school? It's in Harlem. All right, it's not too far from the Nassau. Actually, it's a few blocks, down the up. All right, hold on 1 second. I'm gonna give it to you. Bear with me. All right, you definitely wanna get down there and get in touch. Do you get TITHES?
Well, when I ran from when I was outside, like I said, I haven't been in a while, but I really like the brother the teacher there, the brother Cesaria. When I was there once twice, I did, but I would like to get back in. My studies have kind of kept me away. So my sisters and myself, a few of us would like to, renew that and start by going. And some things that it's not a problem on a basis. But once we get the right location again.
Okay, you said something kept you away?
Yeah, my studies kept me away. I was in school for a minute.
Okay.
For a while, I kind of kept,
Okay, and how's your studies going? Is your studies, you're able to keep up with your studies and complete it?
Yeah, I'm able to keep up with my studies, and I still have a little way to go, but now I'm more focused and more completing it and getting much better. I had considering so much better. I'm more focused on moving ahead, so now I can have more time to go to school. Also pick back up on the word of the Most High, which is so important, and I have to do it as well here.
Okay. Well, let me ask you this: as you were studying in school, did you you can turn that light on in the back? That's what I was talking about yesterday. So what? As you were in school, right? Did you run across problems in school and difficulties and I'm sure at times the weather was bad, you couldn't get to school, it was tight traffic. Did you run across those things?
Yeah, I ran across some difficulties, and then
and what did you do?
Because I myself, I'm a Benjamite, and we came here. I have my nieces who came in student visa. But myself, I did not come with student visa.
One second. Let me ask you. And when you run across those difficulties, what did you do about school?
Well, when I run across those difficulties, I just really had to, retract and try harder and get tutoring
and you completed your studies, right? You kept up with your studies, right?
Yeah.
You should do that same thing with the Lord. You should not let difficulties and nothing should keep you away. Just like you're committed to school, you should be committed to the Lord the same way. You understand? Your tithe should have continued coming in. You don't have to go down to the physical location to do it. You could have did it online. But I'm gonna give you the address to the physical location right now. It's in Harlem. It's 2279 3rd Avenue.
229 229?
2279.
Oh, 22. Okay, 2279. 2279. I got that, brother.
Right, 3rd Avenue, right? It's in Harlem. It's right around. It's not too far away from that campsite, all right? And of course, ISUPK.com. You could go there and pay your tithes anytime. You could go there and pay tithes now. You and all your sisters. All right, you can go in there and pay your tithes. 10% of everything you earn. 10% of everything you earn, you and all your sisters, as long as you're employed. Any increase, you don't have to be employed. Somebody could be giving you money. Any increase, any things anybody gives you, you find when you gamble, you win money. 10% should come into the school, all right?
Okay, no problem, brother. No problem.
What you was just saying something, so I cut you off.
Yeah, I got 2279, but I didn't hear the avenue.
3rd Avenue.
3rd Avenue.
Okay, 2279 3rd Avenue. 3. Got it. 2279 3rd Avenue. Got it.
Okay. All right. That was it?
Thank you, brother. Wow, thank you so much. That was it. Thank you so much. If I have any questions again, I'll tune in again next week. And if there's anything, I'll probably be going by the camp and probably brother Cesare please to help me because I have one or two things you could probably help us on.
No, so this mandatory class out of headquarters tomorrow, Thursday. So you can make your way down to that address I gave you, 7 p.m. Usually Jeremiah Hyman teaches it, 12 she Jeremiah Hyman teaches it. If not, I think Tazariak usually rocks the class. But you could make your way there down there on Thursdays. Thursdays is a good day. Of course, all the brothers rock it out. But definitely you should go down there on Thursday, all right? If you're in New York. Yeah, usually he is.
Oh, good. Oh, good. Thank you so much, brother. Thank you so much.
No sweat. What did you say your name was again, sis?
Thank you so much.
What you say your name was again? What you said your name was?
My name is Kodashaya.
Kodashaya?
Yeah, Kodashaya, yeah.
And you got your name from the UPK or you got your name somewhere else?
No, I got my name when I first came in. I used to go to the old one west. I got my name there.
I understand. Okay.
You know,
well, there is no old one west. There is no old one west. Let me just let you know, all right? I understand what you're saying, but there is no old one west. There's only one west.
That's right.
All right? There's only one west, not old one west. All right? But I do understand what you're trying to say. You should definitely go down to the school and get back and paying your tithes. You have a responsibility that you have been neglected. Catch up with it, all right?
Thank you, brother. All right. You're so right. All
right. Shalom, sis.
Okay. Thank you, brother.
Good? Go ahead. You just cut it off. Okay. All right. So good. Let's get into the topic, right? We're going to close over this one. There's more?
Counsel.
Hey, go ahead.
There was a brother, Matthew, young man Matthew. He asked, "Can I get some brotherhood, milk brotherhood scriptures?"
Yeah, we just went over it. I think he would have heard it. All right, we just went over it when he was breaking down that thing with the sister Matthew 18 and 15. All right, Matthew 18 and 15. If your first step is to go to that man by himself or that woman and tell them their faults to you. If they do not hear you, meaning if they don't say Salakia, my fault, I should not have did that. Salakia, I apologize. Then you call the camp leader and you request a counsel. If they do say Salakia, you gain your brother or you gain your sister. That's it. That's really all. That's all it is. All right.
And one last question, sir.
Go ahead.
Is a question from Korah Lacham. Says, Adawan, is it right or wrong to make a man near death stand trial for his crimes?
What is that?
Is it right or wrong to make a man near death stand for his trials, stand trial for his crimes?
Okay. What's his name?
Korah Lacham.
Okay. This is a question he made or a statement based on the topic before.
Is a
question mark?
Okay.
Is it right or wrong to make a man stand trial near death? Okay. If it is that this person, okay, this is what would happen. The only reason someone is near death with a trial is because justice was deferred. So this is what you want to understand. In this kingdom, that would be something that would be looked at like, this nigga old. What's he trying to do? Jail him on the damn bed? Anybody with sense would look at it like that. But nobody's understanding that he should have faced charges when he was young. His justice was deferred because America allowed a lot of these Nazis to flee. You understand? America gave them a lot of what's called that thing? What's called that thing with the refugees? Asylum. America damn near gave them asylum. You know, a lot of them came to America. A lot of them came to America. Everybody talking about Oppenheimer. Oppenheimer was a German scientist. Get the point? A lot of them came here, scattered through all the Americas. Now us, when they deal with us, they get us young. You get the point? They all zealous for justice with us. But with the heathens, they let them live. Right? In the kingdom, it's not, a man ain't going to be 98 going to court. You get the point? He ain't going to be like that. His crimes is going to come up unless he committed at 98. You get the point? No, as for what I'm just giving you the context of what happened here. Like this is not something that's normal and regular. Usually it don't ever be like that. But this is another part. David ordered Joab to be executed in his age. On David's deathbed, he told Benaniah, you know what I'm talking about?
I think it was Solomon.
Hold on. No, it's not in the Psalm. Hold on. Oh, he told Solomon, so like, give me 1 Kings 2, and that's what you were saying. Oh, I thought it said Psalms. 1 Kings 2 and 29. Right, this was on David's deathbed. Now remember, Joab was one of David's captains, so of course Joab is up in age as well. On David's deathbed, he done got old, and Solomon done took over. And this was David's instructions. Go ahead.
Go
ahead.
Book of 1 Kings, chapter 2, verse 29. And it was told King Solomon that Joab was fled onto the tabernacle of the Lord. And behold, he is by the altar. Then Solomon sent Benaniah, the son of Jehoiada, saying, go, fall upon him.
Right? This was an instruction David gave to Solomon about Joab. Let me skip you up to where he gave Solomon the instruction. All right? David was on his deathbed. think it's somewhere in this chapter here.
Is it verse 24, sir?
24.
Verse 23, 23 and 24.
Read it on the end.
Con, verse 20, 1 Kings 2 and 23. Then King Solomon swore by the Lord, saying, God do so to me and more also, if Adoniah have not spoken these words against his own life. Now therefore, as the Lord liveth, which hath established me and set me on the throne of David my father, and who hath made me an house, and as he promised, Adoniah shall be put to death this day. And King Solomon sent by the hand of Benaniah the son of Jehoiada, and he fell upon him that he died.
No, it's not there. Give me verse 5. So start 1, then skip to 5 real quick. Start verse 1.
1 Kings chapter 2 and 1. Now the days of David drew nigh that he should die, and he charged Solomon his son, saying,
David was going to die. He's only going to die, and he's telling Solomon what he wants done. Skip me down to verse 5.
Verse 5. Moreover, thou knowest also what Joab the son of Zeruiah did to me, and what he did to the 2 captains of the hosts of Israel, unto Abner the son of Ner, and unto Amasa the son of Jether, whom he slew, and shed the blood of war in peace, and put the blood of war upon his girdle that was about his loins, and in his shoes that were on his feet.
Right? This is David telling Solomon, say, listen, remember what we had Joab did. Joab did something that could have cost David the kingdom, just when David was about to finally get it. This is after Saul done died. Remember, he was on the run for a while. Then Saul and his son got killed by the Moabites. The kingdom still didn't come together. But Saul's son, I forget his name, he had a couple of sons. One of them took the throne, and one of the captains under Saul at the time, who was also a co-captain with Joab and David. They were all captains in the army together. David was the captain of the host under Saul. After Saul fell, after Saul wanted to kill him, David got demoted, and then Abner was the top captain. Then David fled. Joab went with David. Abner stayed with the house of Saul and the rest of Israel, and it was split. Then Saul died. Then David stood up and said what he said about Saul, how he never wanted him dead, and this day is a bad day. David took Saul's death very hard. You could read about that, where he's like, this is wrong. He's always the Lord's anointed. He was the king, and blah, blah. He ran all the way down. Abner came to David because Saul's son, he realized that Saul's son was not the king. This was after years of them having wars and battling, and every time David's side would win, and Saul's son would start to lose. And that captain, he's watching what's going on, and finally, him and Saul's son had an issue, and he realized this guy is not the king. And he went to David and told David, I'm going to this day translate the kingdom from Saul's son to you. Meaning, just like he was going to war with David's men, he was going to tell all the rest of Israel, bend the knee to David or else they're going to die. That's how he was going to translate the kingdom. David said, Shalom, good deal. They dapped up. It was peace from then on. On his way out, Joab and them was coming back from some war, some mission. The men told Joab, yo, Abner is here. Abner, in the initial split, when they first went to war, Abner killed Joab's little brother on the battlefield. He did not seek him out to kill him. Joab's little brother was young and looking for glory like young brothers do. Abner was telling him, don't do it. Stop chasing me. He said, listen, aren't you Joab's brother? He said, yes. Abner did not want to kill him on the strength that they were all captains. They were all once one. Abner was telling him, go fight somebody else. Do not come to try to fight me. He killed him really by accident. He tried to push him back with the back of his spear. And Abner so goddamn strong, his spear went straight through the brother. It wasn't the tip. It was the back, like the blunt end of a broom. He pushed it, like the brother is running behind it. They said Joab's little brother, I think his name was Abishai. Joab's little brother, they call him fleet of feet or something like that. Light of foot. Man, this nigga was quick. He was fast as shit. So as they leave and they're fleeing, he running behind them. He's running after them. Abner telling him, you don't want none of this smoke, young boy. Leave me alone. And you, Joab, little brother? Yeah, I ain't trying to kill you, man. You, Joab, brother. I know you. He wanted the glory. He wanted to be the man that killed Abner and take his armor and go back, which is what most young brothers want. Abner tried to push him back with his stick. The back of the spear went through Abishai and killed him. Since then, Joab couldn't let that shit go. So now, because Abner came to David to make peace and give him the kingdom, the men told Joab, yo, Abner was just here. He said, what? He said, go tell Abner David is calling him. David has something to say to him. Joab met Abner as he came back to wherever David was, took him in a room and killed him. David found out and David promised, this thing ain't going to go down good. This thing is not going to go down good because it's going to look like David killed Abner to the rest of Israel. You get the point? It's going to look like that. David from then remembered what Joab did. He remembered exactly what the hell Joab did, and he was angry with Joab for what he did. But Joab is a shooter. You know, that's what he do. What the hell you want? You don't want me to kill nobody. You know, make me a scribe. Give me a pen. Right? He was angry with Joab. Joab was not supposed to take revenge. So this was his punishment here. Right? Read the next verse.
Count, verse 6. Do therefore according to thy wisdom, and let not his whorehead go down to the grave in peace.
Right? Whorehead means gray hair. Right. Meaning because Joab was up in age. Remember, David ready to die. Joab was David's captain. Up in age now. David ready to die. Joab is old and gray. He said, Solomon, remember what he did. Remember what he did to me. Abner, this one, that one. Use wisdom, but don't let his forehead go down to the grave in peace. Solomon gave the order for Benaniah and who's the other man? Verse 25 or something.
Verse 25. And King Solomon said,
25. Wait, since we were just reading with Benaniah. 30. 29, yeah. 29. Count, verse 29. And it was told King Solomon that Joab was fled unto the tabernacle of the Lord. Right. Now Joab got wind of what was coming down. He got wind of the punishment that was coming down. And Joab went to the house of the Lord and stood at the altar. Meaning, this is, imagine somebody at, at our chief place where the Passover be, that stationary place. He went to the house of the Lord and stood there. Because why? He ain't gonna kill nobody in the house of the Lord. He ain't gonna shed blood. Right? Go ahead.
Con. And behold, he is by the altar.
Then he went on the altar. He went where they had the holy faiths. Go ahead.
Then Solomon sent Benaniah the son of Jehoiada, saying, go, fall upon him.
Right? And Solomon gave the order. Say, don't, yeah, but he on the altar. He gotta go. Solomon gave the order, Benaniah went in there, put him down in his age. You get the point? So now, the brother's question, is it right to do that in his age? There may be a time you better do it. There may be a time that's absolutely necessary. However, that's not a normal situation. The normal situation would be once it's done, it gets dealt with within that time period. You get the point? But this here definitely happened. It was right for doing it. You get the point? Joab should not have did that when he did. David told him to let it go, and he couldn't let it go. In fact, I think David set him after Absalom. Remember, Absalom was David's son. Absalom wanted the kingdom. Absalom had too much ambition for his own good. David sent him after Absalom and told him, do not kill Absalom. That's my son. I love him. I know he's going off. Bring him back. Arrest him and bring him back. Joab killed Absalom. Joab come back and tell David. You know, I try to bring him back. How hard did you try, nigga? I tried. You know what I mean? They really, you know, he gave judgment on his deathbed. You understand? They're going to come a time. You ain't going to escape it. You're going to get dealt with some way, somehow, some way or the other. All right? That's it?
The Counsel concert.
Okay. Okay. So from the person before who was asking with the counselor, right? Divorce and marriage, right? In America, what's the divorce rate?
It's around 50% or more.
It's around 40-something% for first-time marriages, right? First-time marriages. What's the divorce rate for second and third? Yeah, it's a little high. It's a little higher than that. I think it's over 50%. First time around, you say it's a 40% chance it's going down the drain, right? They say the average marriage lasts 8 years before divorce, right? Some sooner, but some, and the marriage I'm talking about is the preacher, the rice, white dress, the tuxedo, the little kids with the damn ring, the the wedding ring and the vows, and the preacher, the lying preacher. That's the marriage I'm talking about. That thing you get with the license. That's what I'm talking about. Biblical marriage is something totally different. Biblical marriage is sex. It's a male member going into a female member. To be between a female, right? And that's what constitutes marriage. What I'm talking about, the statistics I'm giving you, is the marriage according to our oppressor Esau. His marriage, right? It's, you know, statistically doomed to fail, right? What's the percent now? Out of that percent, they say 60% of women initiate divorce. 60%. Right, which means more times it's the woman who is quitting on the marriage, which is really essentially what it is, right? It's a, you know, that's the person who wants to leave 60% of the time. Then they go into how expensive it is. Anybody know how expensive a divorce could be on average? Go ahead.
I'm gonna give out about 15 to 20,000.
Just about. You see, on average, it could cost about 15 G's, low ball, and it goes up from there, which lets you know what about, you know, marriage, divorce.
It's big business.
Listen, I was doing a little bit of research before class, bro. I think I'm going to be a damn one of the people who signed the damn license and the one who announced the shit out, because it got to have some money in that shit. It has some money in that shit. If I could be a JOP, notary, something. Let me get a piece of that money. Let me bring the printing paper in to print the license, because there's money involved in this thing. Go ahead.
We even got people who just sit between the husband and the wife and decide who's going to get everything.
Well, they call that a mediator. It's called like a mediator. That's before it goes to the judge. The statistics on the fallout from it is ridiculous. Before it goes to the judge, the two parties could agree to have a mediator decide, and whatever the mediator decides, that's set in stone. A judge can't overturn that.
Right.
So you could go to that. They said in okay, what's the other statistic? Hold on. If there's children involved, 90% of the cases that go before a judge, the woman gets the children. 90% of the time, if it has to go before a judge. If it's settled without a judge, 60% of the time, the father gets the child, right? 60% of the time, if they settle. What does that let you know? Go ahead.
White man devil, but
I think it's 40. I think I'm misquoting that one. I think it's 40. It might be 60.
so this is basically like it's American, like just they forcing the kids to go with the mother, like they doing it on purpose, or
You want it. It's more so like anybody else want to try? It's more so like, okay, once if it goes to court, it's because two of your can't come to a conclusion in mediation. So you need, or you don't want a mediator, you want to go to court over the shit. Which means what both of you all want this thing. 90% of the time, the judge gives you 1 minute. If it don't go to court, it's because you're all sitting with a mediator, somebody who you approve. There's people who do it, mediators, right? They can recommend them from both sides. If you're sitting there with both lawyers would advise and agree to this one person who's going to decide it. It means in that scenario, it's like a negotiation. You're open to negotiate. And in 60% of those cases, the father gets the children, which means 60% of those cases, she agrees to give which means she doesn't want the child. So if she wants it and he wants it, he don't get it. If he don't want it and she don't want it, he gotta get it. You understand?
Right.
This is gloomy. This thing is gloomy. Passport bros, you had me for a second. I was like, damn, this is why these niggas is doing this shit. Because this shit is absolutely unfair to a man. It's absolutely unfair to a man off the break. Over the whole long term, it's unfair to everybody. Divorce is something that's not right at all to anybody. They said it takes an average of 3 years to recover financially from a divorce. This is when the house is involved, children are involved, combined incomes paying for this and that. You could spend 3 years kept recovering. This is not good for anybody. Go ahead.
Like I said, I think that figure is probably for Esau because I watched my.
You already know.
Yeah,
you already know these statistics are white.
Yeah, Counsel. Go ahead. Because I watched my pop struggle. He had a car garage. He owned his own car garage. And in the process of going through a divorce with my mom and in a custody battle, he had to sell his car garage. And he said the finances between paying the lawyer and everything, it took him about 10 years to finally like break even. He was in a hole for 10 years from a divorce.
Listen, shit. Yeah. You should have just gone to jail. You'd have been out in 10.
Yeah.
It's absolutely rough and ridiculous, right? Now, for time's sake, I might be able to play everything that I wanted. But watch, where can I send this video for you to play?
You can send it to Facebook, sir.
Which one? Your Facebook?
Yes, sir.
What do you see? Yours?
Actually, this is on Brock's. You can send it to Brock.
Send it to Brock?
Come on, Counsel.
Okay. You shot. Let me know when you're out, right?
Okay.
So this video here, this guy is some doctor, right? Some kind of psychologist type doctor. This nigga got, I think he got 1 point. How much followers they say he had?
Yeah. So it's loading up.
What's that?
1.3 million.
How much?
1.3 million.
This guy got 1.3 million followers on the damn YouTube subscribers. So 1.3 million people listen to this guy's opinion, right? I looked at him and I would not listen to him about shit. Nothing. Not even to change toothpaste. I wouldn't listen to him about nothing. Now skip me. He says some interesting things in the truth. Just about 6:45 and play.
Kind of.
The volume is up on the arm.
That's important to keep in mind. all these statistics.
Counsel.
Disorder or not having one doesn't cause
It's
somebody
going
to stay
slow
married
now, and the volume should be up.
or cause somebody to be divorced.
Just check them aside before
These are just factors that are associated with them.
Up, sir.
Time is not music.
And the probability of divorce. So with all these divorce statistics, it can become difficult to figure out what the true probability of divorce is.
It's not music.
But what we know is that divorce is complex. There are a lot of factors involved in maintaining a marriage and in dissolving a marriage. And there's no one variable that we can isolate and say,
It was playing
this is the solution.
earlier, sir.
Moving this variable is the solution to staying married and avoiding divorce.
A lot, sir. It's all
We just
Bluetooth is
don't
off.
know. It's a very complicated situation. As research continues,
This
in
is
this area, I hope to have a clearer picture of what's really going on. So to answer the question, originally,
That's the JV.
we just don't know, but I would say the divorce statistic of 50%, I know this has been held out as a myth, but I don't think this is true. Either way, the probability of getting divorced is a lot higher than we would like to see.
It sounds like
People go into marriage expecting to stay married, and that's not what is happening for 40 to 50% of people. I hope you found this description of the divorce statistic to be interesting. Thanks for watching.
Yeah, stop yours. You did?
Sir.
I focus on nothing on the door.
It's on, sir.
Okay, it just disconnected.
Disconnect.
No. Yeah. It is.
Okay.
It's off now. I don't know. But watch, could you get rid of the way up on the screen? I appreciate that. Get rid of that whole thing. Okay, let me see. Hold on, let's test this thing here.
We think of it as divorce statistics. For many years now, we have thought of it.
We might be able to do it. Go because it ain't gonna be able to do it. It's gonna look really bad. All right.
Kind of.
All right, you put the video and go like 8:45 thing. No, 6:45. 6:45 or 7. We're about 6:45, 7 minutes out. Somewhere.
Kind of, sir. $6:45.
Yeah, that's about 6:45. I just gonna play it through StreamYard. The people online gonna be able to hear it. People in class, I just read out kind of and break it down what he's saying, right? So this doctor, the Todd Grande, right? Yeah, he does research and counseling and all type of shit. Who knows if he's a real doctor or not? As far as the internet goes, he is. This nigga got 1.3 million followers, right? And he was giving you different things that contribute to marriage failure.
Divorce is
different,
complex. There are a lot of factors involved, and no one variable we can say this is moving this variable is the solution to staying married and avoiding divorce. We just don't know. It's a very complicated situation.
Children, they say number one thing
As research continues in this area,
people
we
realize
hope to have a clearer picture of what's really going on.
average people spend about,
So to answer the question, originally,
sir.
we just don't know, but I would say the divorce statistic of 50%.
I'm looking there. Just rock with me a little more, right?
Come on, sir.
They say about, on average, most people who seek a divorce contemplated for about a year and a half before they actually file the paperwork. Right, for a year and a half, because of factors, financial factors, they tied up together financially, or because of children, or because of just being used to something. Right. Then where we have to get, you can play from that 640. It's about 640.
With all these statistics, this isn't about causality.
It's also mental illness and depression also contributes to it. When you have you link up with someone, a man or woman, what contributing factors could be their mental state, which could be realized later on, and that could also contribute, right? You say it's not a causality, meaning it's not saying that because you have these things, you're going to get a divorce, but these factors have been present in people who have had divorces, all right? You have it before from next 640.
Sir.
Go ahead.
And Parakcha says he's a devil. The devil is a researcher. He has a PhD. That's why he's a doctor.
That's why he's a doctor. Listen, I'm Captain 13,000, brother, and I did Hebrew Academy 2000. I have not divorced. My marriage is successful on the command.
That's right. That's right.
Verify him, right? Because he's about to say something here that just, I was like, what the hell is going on here? You see it? Okay, damn, nobody can hear the fucking slap. What's going on with this thing, man? Y'all messing me up with this thing here. Normally you can hear it. Why can't I hear it now?
It was playing at the beginning of the class.
You sure you ain't click a switch, a button?
Live, sir. We heard the commercial.
What about the commercial is not from you, it's not from the tab. Did you go to the top of that tab where the YouTube video is and right click?
Concert. And
it's not, the mute is not clicked.
It says mute to if I click it, it's to mute the site.
Okay, mute it and then unmute it.
Con.
That's what me. I don't understand what the hell was.
Now it says unmute. And it's unmute.
And is it playing now?
It's not playing.
Playing.
Stress disorder and H is
The volume is up.
the reverse as well. These statistics these are just factors that are associated with the movement and the probability of becoming divorced. So with all these differing divorce statistics, it becomes difficult to figure out what the true probability of divorce is. But divorce is complex. There are a lot of factors involved in maintaining a marriage and in dissolving a marriage. And there's no one variable that we can isolate and say, this is the...
So he's saying with all these divorce statistics, they still can't predict why divorce happens, right? He's a PhD, he does a ton of research. Keep going.
Okay.
Solution.
And there are a lot of factors involved in maintaining a marriage and in dissolving a marriage. Divorce is complex. He's a marriage for divorce. Hold on. Yeah, divorce is complex. Go ahead.
Solution to staying married and avoiding divorce.
What minutes you have?
We just don't know. It's a very complicated situation.
Okay, well, let me stop writing. Let me catch up to you.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Research
so
continues in
this area. It's a complicated situation, and they don't understand what's really going on. He's a PhD doctor, does a ton of research. 1.something million followers. So you know this nigga, he know what he's talking about. And here he's saying he don't know what he's talking about. All right, keep going. You can't hear it. That's what I'm not. I hear this shit. Go ahead.
Clearer picture. What's
Okay,
really going on. So to answer the question,
Now,
yeah, hold on. Where you reach now?
I'm at 736.
Okay, hold on. Hold on. Right? He says, with all the research going on, we hope to have a clearer picture of what really causes this. Ain't this way? Keep going.
originally, we just don't know. But I would say,
and he said the answer question originally, we just don't know what causes divorce. That's what he said out of his own mouth. He said with all this research and this, statistic that we gathering, we hoping to one day know. But to answer the original question, we just don't know what the hell is going on. Bring that money down. Go ahead and bring. We don't know why. Go ahead and fill that paper. Go ahead and bring that money. Go ahead, come on. $15,000. How much marriages do you think happen for the year? Sometimes how much people go down, walk the aisle down a year? How much of them go to the courthouse in January, which is the highest month? January, February is the highest months for divorce. Because right after the holiday period, everybody broke and emotionally unstable. Multiply that by 15,000. They said divorce rates went up after COVID.
Yeah,
in several countries, not just here. Went up in the UK so much, brother. They opened another office to deal with the influx because people were stuck home and realized who the hell they are. It's like people were stuck home and realized what parenting really is.
Yeah.
After the COVID, people realized, damn. After that, after the COVID, they said a lot of people got married because of survival, because they lose their job for the COVID or they couldn't, there was redundant. So to just live, they had to, get with somebody and have a 2-year romance that turned into a marriage. Now, you take your mask on, mask off, marriage done. That's that. He's saying here, we don't know what the hell causes it. Right. Go ahead.
It's just been held out as a myth, but I don't think there's enough evidence. And
Right,
either way, probably get divorced.
You could put back with just his face on it. Right? Not the other stuff, that's his face. So he's saying with all these statistics they gather, all the work they did, he's a doctor that done checked out this thing, psychologist that talked to so many couples, heard from all the sides, he understands the contributing factors. But there's one factor, he said, people, incompatibility, people is, this, that, the other. They have a whole slew of reasons why. They have some that's more common than others. But he can't figure out what causes divorce. He can't understand it. The reason you can't understand it is because you're not in the Israelite school or UPK. Right? Because everybody else believes in divorce. The IUIC believes in divorce. They say you could do it. They say, to hell with whoever. He told his sister whose brother, whose husband got locked up, that he abandoned the marriage. So you get locked up, you abandon the marriage. God damn, Lord forbid.
Right.
I mean, Paul was locked up and he had a wife. So what does that mean? She could get around to now. Get the point. There's so many brothers in these scriptures who got locked up for the truth. What does that mean? The woman goes to somebody else now? You don't understand what it is because you're not in the UPK. The reason people get divorced, let me ask you all, what's the reason? Now, hold on, let me rephrase it. In an ideal situation where this is not a question of choosing the wrong person. This is not that. This is y'all done did whatever and y'all reach the point now. What causes that divorce?
The very option that you can quit.
That's it. It's the decision that you make. Mm-hmm. You could decide to stick with this thing, or decide not to. What causes it is that it's on the table. It's an option. And okay, this is how bad it is, right? Women in the world only feel secure if he puts a ring on it.
Yeah.
Which means them bitches ain't worth shit.
Yeah.
Because they need the white man to tell you go home.
Right.
They need the white man to tell your husband. When I say you go home, I'm talking about the man.
Mm-hmm.
They need him to tell the man, go home to your wife. They need him to say, don't leave her or else I'm going to take the kids from you. Mm-hmm. Don't leave her or else I'm going to take the house from you. When you could just be a bad sister, he comes on his own.
Right.
But you ain't shit no way.
Right.
Your tail ain't good. Your spirit ain't good. Nothing is good with you. So you have to force somebody to be in a house with you.
Right.
But if you don't want to do it anymore, 60% says you initiated. You decided. The problem is the decision. And with that, the root of it is that a man is not running the society. The reason it is so destructive, and this divorce affects so many people, the man, the woman, and sadly the kids. The reason why it goes down there is because a man is not in charge of the situation. He's not given charge. He's not being able to say what is what. You get the point? This is not saying now that a woman may not have a valid issue in a marriage. Every marriage goes through valid, very, very valid issues.
Right.
That doesn't mean this thing is over.
Right.
That doesn't mean, now you get to go choose somebody else. That there is an absolute selfish perspective to have. Okay. It's a selfish option to have. So now because of this, your children have to go learn somebody new. Now because of this, you have to go learn somebody new. And really, you're still attached to this person. It's absolutely crazy and selfish.
Right.
The whole option, that whole option that you have in your head mentally that this thing can happen,
right?
That's the reason this thing happens so much. If there was no option to divorce, there would be less marriages, according to I.S.U.P.K.
Right.
There would be less trips to the courthouse, and let's just do it. Let's elope. Let's just be spontaneous. It's now or never, baby. If this thing was, you can't get out of it, men and women would not be so quick to do that dumb shit.
That's right.
You would not be so quick to do it because this is something I can't get out of.
That's right.
Today, people rather rent than buy. Why?
Because they're not stuck.
Whatever, I can walk away.
Right.
But if I go get tied in with a goddamn house, damn,
yeah.
You stuck. Now imagine that was your marriage.
Right.
Imagine that's it. Now you're really making a decision with this thing here.
Right.
You're absolutely deciding to be stuck here.
Yeah.
Storm, winter, spring, or fall.
Yep.
I'm here.
That's right.
But the option Esau gives you, the freedom he gives you, is why there's so many marriages, so many divorces. Hold on, I'll come say, go ahead.
It's like you said, just the option. So people don't take the time to court and they realize.
Okay, the courting is the secondary part. But for this purpose here, for the people in the world,
right,
they take a lot of time to court. A lot of people in the world is high school sweethearts.
Yeah.
They take hella time to court, brother. And that's what I'm talking about. This is for people in the world. The option, even if you don't take time to court, you're making a decision today.
Right.
You have to stick with that decision until you die.
Right.
Until one of you die, or both of you die, but you have in your mind there's a escape door somewhere. There's no escape door. And that's why he can't figure it out. He did all the research. He did all the contributing factors, but still, it's not enough for him to be like, this is why. Because he's free to do whatever.
Right.
You're free to be gay. You're free to be lesbian. You'll see what happened to old lesbian Lizzo, right? Yeah. You hear what she making her damn backup dancers do, right? Yeah, I thought you always, Lizzo fans. As long as she showed that little long ass crack in that leg, I knew what Lizzo was about. I understood her. She took away everything from her at that point. But she's free to do whatever. So why not just force the backup dancers to do all kinds of sexually suggestive stuff and berate them and whatever else? You're free to do everything.
Right.
And of course, he can't figure out why there's so much divorce. People go into it and get, all kind of psychological problems, depression because of it. because you don't understand the power of a decision.
Right.
You don't understand it so much. Somebody else has to decide what you do when you get the divorce. You can't even decide that. Your power to decide is weak. You don't understand it because we grow up so Christian and so passive. Go ahead.
Yeah, Counsel. Even when people get buy a house, they're not looking to be there 30 years or however long, forever. That's like their beginner home, or you know, they can get out of it at a certain point in time.
You talking about? Not people they get a house. We staying in this motherfucker. Yeah, I'm gonna tell you. But I get what you're saying. But okay, the reference to the rent is, you know, you could break that rent lease and it's easy. You could, or stay in there for the year, right? And it's easy. Versus a house, that's a different scenario to get out of. Right. I'm just showing the gravity of the situation with the actually going and do that marriage thing. That's not marriage according to the Bible. Let me get Exodus 22 and 16 real quick, and also give me Hebrews, right? Exodus 22 and 16. Is it Hebrews? What's the one I want with let them depart and let them reconcile? Corinthians 7. Go ahead.
Book of Exodus, chapter 22, verse 16. If a man entice a maid that is not betrothed and lie with her, he shall surely endow her to be his wife.
Right. If a man entice a maid that's not betrothed and lie with her, he shall surely endow her to be his wife. Meaning, what does endow mean? He's not going to have this woman as this is my wife and I have to go pay a dowry for her. I have to go pay a dowry for her. Y'all getting divorced because y'all didn't pay nothing for anybody. You get the point?
Right.
But of course, he don't have to pay nothing because it's her right to choose and this and that and blah, 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 blah. This society is so twisted.
Right.
That's why this damn PhD professor here, he don't know what the hell going on because he don't have the wisdom from the Lord.
Right.
The decision for her can't be made by her. She definitely contributes. She could definitely say, "Now I don't like this brother here, X, Y, Z, the father." But now the father he's the negotiator on behalf of her. If anybody, the father walked down the aisle with her most times, or a father figure, right? Where's he when it's time to divorce?
Right.
Why is he not walking her into the damn courtroom or the mediation? Where is he? He's not there. That's missing, and that's why he can't figure it out. You gotta hear him say it. You gotta hear him say, after all this research, and we still don't know why. It's almost like it's the eighth wonder of the world, Bigfoot. He don't understand what the hell is going on because you don't have the masculinity of the UPK. You don't have that toxic masculinity,
right,
which is what makes decisions, which is what runs the world.
Right.
This is missing from the entire planet.
Right.
Sex is equal to marriage.
That's right.
Because why? Every woman knows once you give a man your body, you can't take that shit back. You can take a ring back. You can take your vows back. You can't unsex.
Right.
You can't uncouple.
Right.
It's coupled already. It's done. You're giving him your body. This thing had to work.
Right.
This thing had to work and just be done with it. You get the point? That's it. But now this place gives you the option to couple, uncouple. Couple, uncouple, and it should not be like that. Especially them fake Israelites, IUIC. They give you that option to couple and uncouple. And there, a whole time divorce going on. I already brought the tape out with that. They have a whole lot going on. 40%, I guarantee in there is probably about 75. It's probably about 75% of them IUIC people getting divorced.
Right.
Probably about that. They also say if a man is living with his mother, living with his parents, she could leave him because nobody who live in home, he can't have a wife.
Right.
No, biblically that's incorrect.
Right.
What's the scripture? Right, where's the other one? Come on.
Well, Jacob brought Leah to Slack.
Go find it. Find it and read it. Find that one and read it for these people sodomites here. Who life is so miserable.
Right.
I know your life miserable because you're playing with trannies, you're playing with boys, you're not a rape woman. So your life is absolutely miserable because you cannot, Good night. I was going to say something. Stop right there. But the divorce is prevalent with you, just like it's prevalent with the oppressor.
Right.
You have the one-on-one?
Go
ahead.
Genesis chapter 24, verse 67. And Isaac brought her into his mother Sarah's tent and took Rebekah.
And what?
And took Rebekah.
And what?
And took Rebekah.
Where he took Rebekah?
And his mother Sarah's tent.
According to I.S.U.P.K, Isaac, our forefather, was a bum.
Right.
According to I.S.U.P.K, Isaac should not have been having sex with nobody. There would be 12 tribes of Israel if Nate was absolutely right, and a man should not have a wife if he living with his parents. Why would Isaac have to go take her into his mother's tent? As a people, we get, okay, this is what we get from the heathens. The heathens send the children away.
Counsel.
That's not how we are. We are not that type of people. Nursing homes and shit like that, that's not our community. We've adopted that shit from the oppressor. So our community is way more close-knit than that. You live right around the corner from your people. You live down there from your people. They build up an extension in the back. You live right there. And certain communities still do it today. We don't have that whole separate ass bullshit that they're talking about. So now Isaac, he took her into his mother's tent because they're living around there.
Right. They're
living there. For I.S.U.P.K saying now that a man can't have a woman, and if he does have a woman and he lives with his parents, you have to divorce him. You are doubly wrong. Divorce is a sin. The Lord said you can't divorce. And in the Bible, what's he trying to say? Isaac was about?
Right.
He's your forefather. Nate is gay.
That's right.
Divorce is gay.
That's right.
You cannot divorce. You have the other one?
I got the other one, sir.
Give me that.
Come on. 1 Corinthians chapter 7, verse 10. And unto the married I command, yet not I, but the Lord, let not the wife depart from her husband.
Go ahead.
But, and if she depart, let her remain unmarried.
I wonder why the scripture say, let not the wife depart from her husband. There is 60% of divorces in the shades of broken, right? I'm not bashing sisters. I'm trying to give you wisdom.
Right.
And once again, this is not for sisters in here.
That's right.
This is for you mother effers in the world who think you like something. You walking around, if you like it, you either put a ring on it. Beyonce needed a ring from Jay-Z. I feel that. She needed it. She had to have it, and she convinced everybody if you like it, you either put a ring on it. Right? You need the oppressor to force your husband to stay with you.
Right.
Your femininity, all them curves the Lord give you, that smile, that eyes, none of that shit ain't worth nothing on you. That ring is worth more than anything you have. And that's a sad state of affairs if you're a woman.
Right.
That's a sad state. You can't get a man to come home. What you looking? What you dealing with? You can't get a Negro to come home. You can't. You got the phone now. You got the Barack or somebody. iPhone 14, 15, 16 Max Pro, iPro, Outer Space Pro. Take down one of them pictures and send it to him. He's supposed to be running the lights coming home. Right. But he don't want to come near you because you're so horrible. You need your oppressor's help. Yep. You are seeing you're in shit in there.
That's right.
You're in shit in there, and you men weak.
That's right.
Get the point? You're absolutely weak. Your divorce is flourishing in there with you. So go ahead.
But and if she depart, let her remain unmarried, or be reconciled to her husband.
Or be what?
Reconciled to her husband. And let not the husband put away his wife.
Right. Let him not put her away, because why? After she depart, he is going to be more prone to not dealing with her again.
Right.
You get one because she done left. Because as she's departing, what does a man do? The other one argument is no problem. Baby, don't go. Still love it. I'll say it, no worry. I'll say that. Don't go. Still love you, mama. What's going on? I just cooked some curry right here. What's up? What do you need? You want something to eat? I know you don't know what you want. Right. As she's departing, you trying to convince her to stay, but America empowers her.
Yep.
Right. So she doubles down and digs down. Yeah. And she knows later on she's going to be sleeping in a cold room on a cold pillow with nobody in the bed, and she's going to be frustrated and angry and vexed. But that moment to be rebellious against you, it's more seductive to her than anything else.
Right.
And America gives her that option, gives her that power. And here you don't have that power.
Right.
You open your legs to somebody, that's that.
Right.
After that, you fumble the ball if you want to. That brother ain't coming to you. Something up with you.
Yep.
I'm telling you straight up and down. There's something up with you. Lizzo has a husband. Lizzo has a man who's having sex with her.
That's true.
I think he make a song when he say, oh God, what's his song? Something that's that in the middle. She don't have a whole lot. That song is for Lizzo.
Oh, that's good.
Oh, y'all don't know that? Y'all singing? Why do you think he's describing a very healthy broad? You realize that song is not, a model. He ain't describing, the genders and the kind of shit. He's describing a healthy, a fluffy good.
Yeah.
Healthy.
I don't know that was him.
Yeah, it's that's why he's talking about her in the song. The music video is her.
Damn.
Oh, you didn't know that?
I didn't see the video. I heard the song.
That's fine. I try to listen to everything so I know what I'm the pulse. So if I'm parents in my household, I know where the hell it's coming from.
Yeah.
But she had somebody who make a song about her. You had to take your nigga to child support. Long ass strap with it. There's something wrong with you.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. This dude here, he don't know. You should see his face. He have glasses. He looking up. He's like, we don't really know what it is. It's the decision. Go ahead.
You're right. Even because I watch a lot of My 600 Pound Life, and a lot of sisters on my 600 Pound Life. A lot of sisters got men.
They got a husband
that make them food and all that.
Listen, and he come home.
Yeah.
He come home. He come home. She don't wonder where he is. He dead. You have to and confuse poor old Todd Grande, Dr. Todd. Dr. Todd, he doing research to help you with your problem. He can't figure it out. When you could just be more like what the nigga like. And that's all. Your boss likes you because you get likable for him.
Right.
Everybody likes you because you likable to them. Now your husband don't like you. And he don't quit. He trying to work the thing out still. You go call for a divorce. What saves it? What he's missing is that plain old just decision.
That's right.
You when the love you have for your husband or your wife becomes a decision and not a feeling, now you know you grow.
That's right.
Now you know you grow. And in the beginning, I know you all feeling, it's 3 o'clock in the morning, in the night, you're on the phone, you're under the cover, you're sleeping, all kind of bullshit, and you're getting up fresh for work. You ain't missing a beat. You're putting all the energy into it, right? There comes a time when that should get older. And the feeling, it ain't no day, it ain't driving you like it used to.
Right.
And you have to decide to love this person.
That's right.
When you reach the decision stage, that's real love.
Right.
That's true love. But when you all in the world and in the IUIC reach the decision stage, you'll decide to end it.
Right.
Because that's not real love. That's that purple gay love, which is not real. That purple gay Barney love. You want to know what the cure is for divorce? You want to know how our marriages are so successful? Just come to the Israelite School at UPK. Do what you're told, follow the program, you'll have great success. Great success does not mean 0 problems.
Right.
That's not what that means. Great success means you never fail.
Right.
That's what it means. You understand? With that pass over the priest and take a look at the camera and say, we just don't know. With 1 million goddamn followers. Shit.
I.S.U.P.K security announcement. We I.S.U.P.K out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, on the commanding to the Yahanna. New rules for brothers and sisters. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They're here to share themselves with the world. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There's another 6 months in which the brother or sister will court each other. After their 6 month period, the brother or sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a command. You can find this in the book of Numbers, chapter 18, verse 21, and the book of Malachi, chapter 3, verse 8 through 10. It means 10th in Hebrew, and it's pronounced ma'aishua. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you, give to the Treasury Department or teacher. Priest fund, free will offering for priests, not mandatory, whatsoever amount you like to give. Upcoming holy convocation, memorial of blowing the trumpets, first day of the 7th month. Friday the 15th, September 2023. You can find this in the book of Leviticus chapter 23, verse 24 through 25. Also, we have the New York cookout coming up. Slack, sir. You want to talk about the cookout?
What's the date of the cookout? I think it's August, right?
27th.
August 27th.
Sunday,
August 27th in I think it's Marcus Garvey Park. Marcus Garvey Park, Harlem, New York. You'll lock it in, check it out. It's gonna be in headquarters that weekend, all right?
Oh God. Oh God. Remind Alchemy Aqua to check on social media such as ISUPK.com, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and so on. I.S.U.P.K. events and material. If your brother wants to be a trooper in the school, you should start wearing all black, which includes black boots, black shirts, black pants, black hairband, and a scarf. And with that, I say I might you, which means to stand. Let's go. We'll give a courtesy salute. Many visit about Shabbat, Mike, Barak.
Yeah, how about Shimmy out shop rocket thumb? How about Shimmy out shop rocket thumb?
Y'all give him a time. Psalmist means the term. Citizens, you may stand. Mike. We'll give a courtesy salute to the sisters. Many visit about Shabbat, Mike, Barak.
Yeah, how about Shimmy out shop?
Y'all give him a time. Class dismissed.